Welcome back to my channel. I'm just a jealous guy. Today's a bit more of a discussion. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm just going to reply to some comments from my past two videos from John, who's one of Brian's supporters. Made one long-winded comment mainly about Jeff Mead on one of my videos, which basically was just a rant against Jeff. But I didn't see that till after I'd seen this comment and made a reply to it. So I did make a reply to that comment, but this video is more about the second comment that he made. There's a number of inaccuracies in there, and I'd just like to explain, rather than reply in writing on a comment. I'm just going to reply on the video, which it's way too lengthy, I suppose, to write in a comment. This was in regards to a comment made by one of the commenters in regards to Brian Smith's live stream last Sunday, where he said that he doesn't video people if they don't want him to, if they say no, which straight out bold-faced lie, because there's video of him doing it. And John made a comment in regards to that, but a lot of it had other stuff in it. But so first of all, basically, just to explain, this channel is not here to discuss the spat, as John calls it, between Brian and Jeff. It's not here to discuss the spat between Jeff and Lucy or anyone else. This channel is to bring out Brian Smith's bad attitude and behaviours, so that uninformed people can be informed and make an informed choice to watch his videos or donate to him. So this is not to discuss the Brian Smith Jeff Mead issue. It's not to discuss any other issue to do with Jeff Mead and anyone else. This is, if you haven't noticed, is about Brian Smith. So John, or anyone else, anyone wants to make these long comments or any comments in regards to the Jeff Mead Brian Smith spat, as John calls it, they're going to be ignored, or they're going to be deleted or blocked. I'm not going to keep answering the same thing time and time again. So let's get into this comment about John. Starts off, what is really strange about this spat between the two guys, these two guys, is you people seem like you like condoning the death threats that Jeff has made. Isn't that against the law? Well, first of all, let's you people. So that in itself is not a way to start her comment, John. And a bit further in this thread, you've said, I have been it says, would you talk that way to me in real life? And the answer to that, John, is yes, I would. I've got no problems saying what I've said in any comment to you face to face. Don't know why you wouldn't think that. But it's got, I've been respectful to you. Well, when you say you people, John, start a comment, that's disparaging. That's putting people down. And if you don't agree with that, then I've got a definition here off the internet. You people, a comment. Insult used when acknowledging a group of people who you think are beneath you. So when you talk about you being respectful, well, you really haven't by using that comment. So whether you intended it to be used that way or not, that's the way it came out. So you people like condoning the death threats that Jeff has made. Isn't that against the law? Well, the answer to that is yes and no. The simple answer is yes, there are laws against death threats, but now when someone makes a comment, as you say Jeff Mead did, there's a number. Every offence has elements made up of elements which you have to prove. So there's certain things in the actual wording of the offence that you have to approve to prove. But not only that, there's what's called precedents, which are previous court cases which basically set rules and practices or procedures that have to be followed before that becomes an offence. So you might satisfy all the elements in the wording of the complaint or the offence, but you still have to prove certain things. And one of them for a death threat, as you call it, is that the person making that threat has to be capable of carrying out that threat. So first of all, is Jeff Mead capable of doing it? It's not even in the same country to start with, so could he make a phone call and pay someone? Possibly. But probably the main thing you have to prove is that the person receiving the threat has to believe that that person making the threat is capable of making it. So, does Brian Smith think Jeff is capable of making the threat? Well, I would, my argument there would be that how many times has Brian Smith said nothing Jeff Mead does is concerns him. It's not going to concern him or his channel. Jeff Mead's just a drunk that rattles off things of nonsense all the time. I think he said before, if Jeff Mead turns up at his place, he'll need another 5 people to come with him. He said before, if Jeff or the other people that were on his channel would come to his place or show up at his place, then there'd be 6 hits, 3 to hit them and 3 when they hit the ground. So there's a lot of evidence on video to show that Brian Smith brushes Jeff Mead's comments off. Whether he means it or not doesn't matter. It's on video and he's said it. So to prove that he thinks Jeff's capable of doing it is probably a long shot. Yes, he did a video, a Suki Lala video, Jeff made threats against me and this and that, and he's going to take my livelihood away, but many videos to say that he doesn't affect his channel at all, and he's going to put me and Marisol in jail and stuff, but he said that's never going to happen. So, and he also goads Jeff Mead. So to prove that he was in the belief that Jeff was capable of doing it, it's probably a long bow to draw. So is it an offence? There is an offence there of making a threat. But whether you can prove a believable or a prima facie case is another thing. So John goes off about nothing ever happening to Jeff about it. Well, that's probably why. One, it's international. No one's going to take up a case. It's two men calling each other names and saying things to each other. And so I think anyone internationally is going to take any action against that is ludicrous. But even if they're in the same place, there's chances are that that no action would be taken anyway, because of what I've said about what you need to prove. It's like, I'll give you an example. Hulk Hogan, the wrestler, is 5'3" bloke weighing 45 kilos, comes up to him and puts his fists up and says, "I'm going to beat you to a pulp." Is that a serious threat? No, because that bloke's not capable of doing it. Does Hulk Hogan believe he's a serious threat? No, because obviously this bloke's not going to do it. So that's what I mean by they have to be capable of carrying out the threat. So that's why nothing is probably done, to be honest. And I'm sure that probably yourself and many others have complained to YouTube and nothing's done. So technically he mustn't have breached their guidelines because he's still on YouTube. So I'm not sure why you get your knickers in a knot. One, it's not your argument, and two, that's life. So I don't condone anyone making threats, but also don't condone others that say, I have someone's work address. If you want to write to their work address and tell them what sort of person they are, email me and I'll give you their work address. I don't condone that either. Now, is there a civil case? Well, anyone can take out a civil case against someone else. It's don't need any evidence to take out a civil case, but you need an evidence to proceed with one. So you're not going to win a civil case without any evidence. But with a civil case, you have a lower burden of proof. When you talk about burden of proof with threats, whether criminally or civil, it's not up to Jeff Mead to prove anything. It's up to Brian Smith's side to prove that he did believe that Jeff was capable of doing it. Not that Jeff has to believe. I have to prove that he is capable. So all the burden of proof is on Brian Smith's side, not Jeff Mead's side. Now, here, even in your own comment here, John, you say, talking about Jeff, his live chats are good. He gets drunk and starts making threats and forgets that he made them, and denies that he ever said it. Well, if he's drunk on his interviews, on his live streams, and he forgets that he made the threat, how can he carry out a threat if he doesn't remember them? That's and how plausible can that threat be if he's drunk and can't remember them? So I think you've answered your own question there. Talks about downloading videos, blah, 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 blah. I have left a lengthy comment on another one, and it's true. When in public, there are no expectations to privacy. Well, that's not true, John. That's absolutely not true. Referred to this article, it's by a law firm in Manila. Stated on the back as 2023, so it's this year, and it's called On Video and Recording and Audio Recording Using Your Mobile Phone. Just going to read a little bit of it. I don't want to drag this on too much. With advancements in mobile technology, the average person can now record a documentary or even an explosive expose merely using a mobile phone with crystal clear picture and sound that may even impress professionals. However, you must be careful with who and what you record with your phone. Chances are, if you recorded a conversation with a person and that conversation was intended to be between you and that person only, or between two other persons, conversation only, and without his or her or both parties' express consent, you may be liable for wiretapping. So, in the Philippines, wiretapping is a crime punished under the Republic Act 4200, also known as the Anti-Wiretapping Act. So, technically, if you film someone and you don't ask their permission and that they speak to you, or they're speaking to someone else, technically you're committing an offence here. You might have like an implied consent, that if they know you're filming and you're speaking to them, there might be an implied consent there. But here the Supreme Court, in the case of Salcido Ortiz versus Court of Appeals, held that unless there is a clear showing that both parties to the conversation allowed its recording, the recording is illegal and may be subjected to the person who made the recording to the penalties provided under Republic Act number 4200. Now, John, you talk about privacy, and if it's in a public place, then you don't have that privacy. Well, it does not matter whether recording was done, whether the conversation was made in the confines of a private space, such as a house or a private room, or in a public place, such as a park or a restaurant. The audio or video recording of the conversation done without the consent of both parties is still illegal and punished under the law, the anti-wiretapping law. So that's just a couple of comments out of there. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously. So technically there, John, I think you're not correct. Now, telling lies isn't against the law. Well, no, it's not all the time. Sometimes it is. If you're under oath and you go and tell lies, that's against the law. Or if you make an agreement with someone and you sign a piece of paper, say you buy some pigs off someone and you sign a piece of paper to say you pay them back in 6 months, and at that time you have no intention of paying those pigs back, or the money for those pigs, then you've told a lie, and that's against the law. That's called fraud. So if you have no intention of paying back the money that you said you would for the pigs that you bought, telling lies that is an offence. So yes, telling lies is an offence in certain circumstances. John, I respect your opinion, but you want to continue on talking about the Brian Smith Jeff Mead thing, I'm going to end up ignoring you or blocking you. If you want to give an opinion on Brian's attitude or whatever the video is about, go right ahead, and I'll argue with you on that. But don't you or anyone else think they're just going to continue wasting my time and your time making comments about things that this channel's not about, and you think you're going to use this channel to get your message across. It's not going to happen. So thanks for listening to this video. I hope it's brought out a few points of my thinking, the way I think, against what John was said. It just goes to show that some people on some side don't know everything. I think I'm correct in what I say. I wouldn't have put it on video if I didn't. Thanks for watching. Hope the video was informative. Hit the subscribe and notification buttons, hit the thumbs up. Share the video if you wish. But I just made the video just rather than make a long-winded comment on the comment section. It was probably easier just to do it this way. So thanks for listening. Wait for the next. Thank you.